Hi, we're going to set up a really interesting case here, which is creating an agent that can schedule appointments at a dental clinic. For this, we're going to use to chat so that with WhatsApp we can use an agent in N8N. So first we greet the user here. He asks me about things like when I want the appointment. So I just tell him that I want it for next Monday. He immediately tells me that to be able to schedule the appointment, he needs some information from me. So he's going to ask for my name, my email address, and my phone number. We give him the information, and he will proceed to verify it. Here in the background, we have the dental clinic's calendar in Google Calendar. So he's asking me, he's confirming the information and tells me what times are available and what time I need the appointment. So let's say we want it at 9 in the morning. As you can see, the appointment appeared there at 9 in the morning, and the agent sends me the email here confirming the appointment. If, for instance, we were to inquire about the specific availability of time slots for the upcoming Monday, we would observe a comprehensive display of options. The system would present a clear schedule, indicating available times starting from 10 o'clock in the morning, then progressing to 11, followed by 12 noon, then 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and finally, extending to 5 o'clock, concluding with 6 o'clock in the evening. This detailed presentation ensures a thorough understanding of the available booking windows for that particular day. So, the 9 in the morning slot didn't show up anymore because it's not available. For this agent to work for us, we're going to use N8N with this workflow that you can download from the link in the video description. We have a webhook that will receive the information from to chat, the AI agent that has its configuration here under Tools. And additionally, here there's a system message that's very important. It's the one that contains all the conditions under which the agent will operate, including, for example, the current date so that the agent is set to the current date and time. Because, well, a lot of times people use the current reference to guide their dates. As you saw when we started, we said, next Monday. If the date wasn't included in the prompt, it wouldn't know how to tell us which date comes next. So all the information is here. We tell it that appointments last 1 hour, we explain the start and end times of the shifts, the formats for dates and times, and all the information needed so the robot can carry out all the operations. So this system prompt is in the template, and it's very important to have it. It's what you would adjust for your own businesses. Here we connect it to the OpenAI model, and we connect it to simple memory. This is very important because this simple memory, which uses the WhatsApp number from the chat as a key, will allow the user to keep the conversation and let the chatbot store the conversation information in its memory, so the chat can feel more natural. Here we have the two tools. The two tools that are linked here through Tools. One is for checking availability, which is this Google Calendar one. Basically, we use it by adding the description and the events. Up here, you connect your Google account. The resource is the events, and the operation is Get Many. Here, we select the calendar. Important, my suggestion is not to use the default calendar, but instead to create a separate calendar for your business, so that the chatbot creates the schedules in that calendar, keeping them separate from any other kind of day-to-day events you might have. We set it to return all because we need it to return all the events, and we provide the conditions. What conditions do we provide? We provide the after parameter, which is the date and time when it will start. basically the date when the user requests the information. And we now get this amazing result from the AI. And the time zone, so it knows which time zone the query should use. Here we have the other element, which is for creating the appointment. Here we have the same structure. We tell it that we are going to set this manually. We add the description, where we say that this is the node with which the agent will schedule the appointment. The resource is event. The operation is create. There are several operations here, as you can see. In this case, it's creation. We select the calendar. Remember that this calendar has to match the one from the other tool, as well as the start and end date of the client's request. We set it to use the default reminders if we want, and here in attendees we enter the email. Let's put it here in Zoom. We enter the email, which is always we get from AI, so it retrieves the email. The description is event description and the event title. This information, like the screenshot, is defined in the system prompt. Finally, after the agent returns the information, we have a respond to webhook here, which is what will send back the data. Let's put it here in the execution, which will be useful in a moment when we explain how the flow works into Chat. Into Chat, the flow is very simple. We have an initial trigger, which is message received. Here we connect an HTTP object, an HTTP element. This URL corresponds to the production URL we have here, the production one for the N8N chatbot, the N8N webhook. The body has this particular structure. We have the last user message and the WhatsApp phone number, which are basically these two distinct elements here, specifically the phone number and the last user message, which is indeed this one. Break time equals 0.5s/. So with that, we create the JSON that will send the response. If you remember this object, let's look here at the end. We'll return a JSON with that structure that ends in output, which has a key called output. So basically, here in the MessageBot variable, we're going to put output. We do this by directly placing the output variable here and selecting add here so it creates a variable for me. So it returns it and we connect it to the HTTP at the successful point. We connect a message await for reply so that with the custom field MessageBot, we add it here, and what the chatbot returns is what we're going to send back to the user via WhatsApp. Then we reconnect this object with HTTP so that the conversation cycle between the user, the client, and the agent is generated. As you can see, this is a very simple yet powerful tool that can help you save many hours in your business. It's an agent that can be used in service businesses that require appointments, such as dental clinics, dental offices, restaurants, medical clinics or offices, and in general, any service business that needs clients to schedule an appointment in advance.